Hi everyone and welcome back. Well, gold and silver, they've pumped pretty hard over the last few months. We're at new all-time highs. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is getting absolutely destroyed. Now, obviously the gold bulls will be smiling with glee, rubbing their hands together saying, see, look, physical gold, physical silver. You can hold it in your hot little hands. It's safe. It's been around for thousands of years. Of course it's going to go up. While your shitty magic internet money that's backed by nothing, that's created by the CIA, that it's going to go to zero, where it belongs, right? But please, don't be a fool. Do not fall for this. If you're on my channel, we don't fall for this sort of stuff here. We're onto it, okay? And right now, people are drawing the worst possible conclusions that you can imagine. If you think that Bitcoin is dead, well, you don't understand markets and you certainly don't understand Bitcoin. Now, if you think gold is too late, well, then you don't understand liquidity. Let me show you what's actually happening here. Now, first, let's have a look at the fear and greed indexes here. First on gold, we've got 82. Now, a few days ago, before this recent correction, the gold's fear and greed index was at 99. That's, even at 82, it's greed. At 99, that's extreme greed. Now, very, very dangerous level for anything to be at. 82 is still extremely high. And that's in spite of the recent 20% correction. Now, let's look at crypto. 6. That's extreme fear, a horrific price drop over the last few months. From 126 per coin a few months ago in October to today, where we're trading at around 70,000 US dollars. Yesterday, it bottomed, it went down to about $60,000 before bouncing, almost 50% drop. Now, the thing with the fear and greed index is, it's a very useful tool because it measures retail investors' emotion. It's the retail FOMO meter. The fear and greed index does not move much when institutions are involved, hedge funds, banks, sovereigns. It moves when regular everyday people like you and me all pile in at once. Okay? When retail investment is crowded, when we're all piling in like it is in gold and silver, it usually means that a deep correction is coming. Remember, retail investors are always late to the party. Smart money is going to be way ahead. That's just how markets work. Now, that doesn't mean that anything crashes tomorrow or next week or next month. It can go on for quite a while, but historically, the higher that the fear and greed index is, the higher the chance of coming destruction. So while you're thinking that Bitcoin's dead, you might want to think again. So the Bitcoin fear and greed index is at 6, extreme fear. Yet the price, despite its 50% correction, is still above the 2021 bull run peak. So let me explain something here. I've got almost all my wealth in Bitcoin, okay? I've lived through 30%, 50%, 80% drawdowns quite a few times now. Now this pullback here, 50%, to me, it's not even a blip on the radar. Yes, it does hurt because my wealth in dollar terms is half of what it was 6 months ago. But remember, I don't believe in the failed, centralized, controlled, inflatable financial system. Bitcoin is something that I actually understand and I fully believe in. And one day you will understand it too. But that's the price that Bitcoiners like myself pay. We're not gamblers, we're holders. Like, I'm a holder until the financial system is actually completely destroyed. Then I will become a distributor. See, my Bitcoin will be distributed among the community one day. That's what it was designed for. Now, the dream of Bitcoin isn't dead, nothing's changed. It's just that you still haven't woken up to it yet. But the sooner that you do, the sooner you will be free. Look, I don't care if Bitcoin's worth $10 in monopoly money or 50 million in monopoly money. It's Bitcoin. It is the end of the fiat system. It's the end of the dollar, the end of the banks, the end of control. And retail, regular investors, they don't understand that yet, sadly, because they listen to the news, they listen to the media, they listen to finance experts who were trained by the same system that actually bent them over. And look, that's okay, but that's how it is. Now, historically, like anything, Bitcoin corrects too when the greed and fear becomes extreme. It happened in 2021. Retail was very much involved in Bitcoin space back then, but then it crashed. They got burnt. They got hurt and probably lost a lot of money in some cases. And that isn't Bitcoin's fault. That's their fault. They didn't do the research. What they did is they tried to speculate on it. They tried to profit from it. Let's buy it, hope it goes up, and then we can sell it. But Bitcoin isn't about profiting in dollars. Bitcoin's about freedom. Right? Now, even when Bitcoin was up at 126, Bitcoin was never actually in extreme greed, not once. Yet we still get a correction. Now, why is that? Because Bitcoin's different. Bitcoin's held by long-term holders like me, people who self-custody, cold storage, and they don't sell. They're not interested in selling now. But then you have your day traders who are speculators, leveraged idiots. They get chopped up and smashed out every single time. Bitcoin can be traded, but it was never designed to be traded. It was designed to end the fiat banking system. But at this stage, we're not there yet. Now, since April 2024, ETF buyers entered Bitcoin through BlackRock, Fidelity, Wall Street. These guys are not Bitcoiners. You see, if they understood Bitcoin, they would self-custody their own Bitcoin. They would not outsource sovereignty to BlackRock. ETF buyers rotate their capital. They panic. They rebalance. They chase safety. They go for gold. They go for silver. They go for anything that they feel that's familiar. See, losses in one asset will force selling in another. That's just how capital moves around. And right now, this is the story that people want to believe. Bitcoin's dead. ETF buyers are dumping. Crypto was just a big scam. Gold is safe. Hard assets have won. Tech is dead. And that story feels right. I get that. But that's exactly why it's wrong. So this gold and silver move that we've seen is fear-driven liquidity. That's all it is. It's not optimism, obviously not. And gold always runs first when things tighten. Central banks, institutions, retail, they all go there before they even consider Bitcoin. And gold doesn't run up because the system's healthy. Gold runs up because the system is breaking. Now, that doesn't mean that gold just goes straight up like this forever. Vertical moves like this with extreme fear and greed mean it's crowded. Everyone feels smart right before the pullback. And look, silver always lags. Then it overreacts. And when silver spikes violently like what it has, it means something snapped. This isn't green energy, this is monetary stress, okay? Silver doesn't move because people believe. Silver moves because liquidity breaks. Now, Bitcoin, this drop here is very, very healthy. ETFs are just weak hands. They're wealthy, but they're very uneducated. It's forced selling. It's not a structural failure of Bitcoin itself. Distribution leads to liquidation and then reset. See, Bitcoin doesn't die in fear. Bitcoin is reborn in fear. Every cycle looks like this from the start. Every time people swear, this time it's different. Yeah, but it's never different. So this is capital rotating, not exiting. Liquidity compression, fear first. Gold parks the money, Bitcoin multiplies it, but only after cleansing. Gold tells you when fear starts. Bitcoin tells you when fear ends. So if you're panicking, well, you're already late. The people who win don't react in this kind of situation. This isn't the end of Bitcoin. This isn't the start of gold dominance either. This is the middle of a liquidity reset. Look, if you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. I don't do hype, I do structure. Really appreciate you watching. Make sure you like and throw a comment in the box below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.